What's good, riders? Welcome back to CycleSphere, and today we're diving into one of the most exciting retro comebacks of 2026, the Yamaha RD400X Heritage. Whether you're tuning in from the States, across the pond in the UK, down under in Oz, or rolling through Germany, France, or Italy, you're about to witness the sickest middleweight machine to hit the market. Let's get into it. All right, exterior time. The RD400X Heritage is giving serious throwback vibes, but with that modern edge that makes you do a double take. Picture this. Classic round headlight up front, none of that angry inset nonsense, just pure old-school charm. The fuel tank is sculpted like the original RD series, swooping lines, knee dents that hug you tight, finished in that iconic Yamaha speedblock livery with deep candy red and white racing stripes. Mate, it's chef's kiss. The tail section is stubby, abrasive, almost cafe racer short. They've kept it super minimal, no plastic overload here. Exposed subframe at the back, single seat with a cowl option, and a cheeky LED taillight that's small but bright enough to wake up your mates behind you. The whole silhouette screams lightweight and nimble. Now the dash, oh boy, they've gone clever here. It's a round TFT display, mimicking analog gauges but fully digital. You get your speedo, tacho, gear indicator, all wrapped in a retro UI that looks like it time-traveled from 1978, but behaves like 2026. Brits will love the classic styling, Yanks will dig the Tex-Lex, and Aussies? Mate, you'll be frothing! The mystique, it's all in the details. Spoke wheels with gold rims, fork gaiters like the old two-strokes used to rock, and that exposed aluminum frame that's both a nod to heritage and a flex of modern engineering. This thing looks like it belongs parked outside a European cafe or tearing through Mulholland Drive. Visual feast, no cap! Right, let's talk engine. Under that sculpted tank sits a 689cc cross-plane parallel twin borrowed from the MT-07 family, but Yamaha's tuned it for pure character. We're talking roughly 82 horsepower and about 68 newton-meters of torque, which sounds modest until you remember this bike weighs just 175 kilograms. Wet! That's 385 pounds for you Yanks. Power-to-weight ratio? Absolutely mental. The cross-plane crank gives it that uneven firing order, so the engine note sounds like a miniature R1, all growl and bark. Fire it up and the exhaust screams with a raspy snarl that'll wake up the whole block. Germans will appreciate the precision engineering, Italians will love the soul, and Aussies, you'll be doing skids in every car park, guaranteed. Ride feel is where this thing shines. Imagine flicking it into corners like a bicycle, but with 82 ponies trying to rip your arms off. The torque curve is fat in the mid-range. 4,000 to 8,000 RPM is where it lives, pulling hard out of every apex. Throttle response is instant thanks to ride-by-wire. No lag, just pure aggression. Whether you're threading through London traffic or carving the Amalfi Coast, this thing rewards commitment. Braking, dual 298mm discs up front with radial mount calipers, single 245mm rear. They've thrown in cornering ABS with a 6-axis IMU, so you can brake deep into turns without the bike spitting you into the weeds. Brits on B roads will worship this setup, and Yanks hitting canyon runs will feel invincible. The bite is progressive, confidence-inspiring, proper modern kit. And that noise, oh mate, the noise. At idle, it burbles like a vintage twin. At 9,000 RPM, it screams like it owes you money. The soundtrack is addictive, proper Goosebumps territory. Stick a slip-on on this bad boy, and you'll have neighbors filing complaints and mates begging for rides. Features-wise, Yamaha's packed some proper tech into this retro rocket. You get a bi-directional quickshifter as standard, clutchless up and down shifts, buttery smooth. Traction control with adjustable levels, plus cornering ABS that we mentioned. The TFT display connects to your phone via Bluetooth, so navigation, calls, and music controls are right there. Very 2026, very convenient. The seat height is around 805 millimeters, so it's accessible for most riders. Not too tall, not too squat. The seat itself is flat, sporty, padded just enough for an hour or two before your butt side starts negotiating. This isn't a tourer, it's a weekend weapon, a Sunday scratcher. the bike you ride when you want to feel alive. Aussies will love the aggressive riding position, Euros will appreciate the flickability, and Americans, you'll dig the hooligan energy. Suspension is fully adjustable up front with 41mm USD forks and a preload and rebound adjustable monoshock out back. Ride quality is firm but compliant, soaking up British potholes and American frost heaves without rattling your teeth. Ground clearance is generous, so you can lean it over hard without scraping pegs too early. Now mileage, let's be real. If you're buying this bike, you're not obsessing over fuel economy, but it'll return around 50-55 mpg in mixed riding, maybe 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers for the European crowd. The fuel tank holds 14 liters, so you're looking at roughly 280 to 300 kilometers range before you're hunting for a petrol station. Practical enough for weekend blasts, not quite adventure ready. Comfort, it's sporty, no sugarcoating. The bars are low and wide, foot pegs are rear set, but not racetrack aggressive. You're leaned forward slightly, engaged, not stretched out like a superbike, but definitely more committed than an upright standard. Perfect for spirited rides, less ideal for 6-hour highway slogs. But honestly, who cares? This bike is about the grin factor, not armchair comfort. Rivals time, what's this beast up against? First up, the Yamaha R7 itself. Same engine family, but the R7 is full-fairing track-focused, while the RD400X is naked retro. If you want heritage and everyday usability, the RD wins. Then there's the Suzuki SV650, the evergreen middleweight champion. The SV is bulletproof and affordable, but lacks the RD's modern tech and that cross-plane character. Kawasaki's Z650RS is the closest style competitor, nailing that retro sport look with a parallel twin, but the RD400X has better electronics and a lighter chassis. The Triumph Street Twin 900 offers British charm and torque, but it's heavier and more cruiser-leaned. For pure retro sportiness, the RD carves its own lane. Internationally, the Ducati Scrambler Icon plays in a similar emotional space, but it's pricier and air-cooled, different vibe entirely. The BMW F900R is a solid performance middleweight, but it's clinical compared to the RD Soul. And Honda's CB650R? Beautiful inline 4, but heavier and less flickable than this lightweight legend. Price, this is where it gets interesting. Yamaha's slotted it around $8,500 to $9,500 US dollars, $7,500 to £8,500 in the UK, $8,500 to €9,500 euros across Europe, and $13,000 to $14,500 AUD down under. That's competitive middleweight money, undercutting premium rivals while offering modern tech and retro cool. Insurance is reasonable too, middleweight sport category, not superbike insanity. Easy or hard to own? On paper, stupid easy. The CP2 engine from the MT-07 is proven reliable, service intervals are generous, parts availability is global. Seat height is manageable, power delivery is friendly but exciting, and it's light enough to manhandle in a garage or parking spot. This is the Goldilocks zone, not too tame, not too wild, just right. All right, hype or bummer? Let's talk emotion. The RD400X Heritage is an absolute home run. This is the bike that bridges generations. Old school riders who remember the original RD series will weep tears of joy. And young guns like us finally have a retro weapon that doesn't feel like riding a museum. The styling is spot on, the performance is proper punchy for the displacement, and the tech package is 2026 ready without drowning you in gimmicks. It's light, it's loud, it's fun, and it taps into that emotional nostalgia that makes motorcycling magic. Whether you're scraping pegs on British moors, ripping through German Black Forest roads, carving Italian coastlines, or hitting Aussie beach routes, this bike delivers smiles per gallon. The motorcycle world has been starving for accessible, characterful middleweights that aren't just naked standards or full-on superbikes. The RD400X fills that gap perfectly, offering heritage, tech, and affordability in one package. This is hype, pure and simple. Riders across the US, UK, Europe, and Australia are already lining up. All right, CycleSphere crew, that's the Yamaha RD400X Heritage. Now I need your take. Are you buying this bike? Drop your country and your answer in the comments. US riders, UK mates, German, French, Italian fans, Aussie legends, everyone. Smash that like button if you're as hyped as I am, hit subscribe if you're here for more retro modern machines, and ring that bell so you never miss a drop. Share this video with your riding crew, your local bike group, your forum. Let's keep the conversation going. Catch you on the next one, ride safe, and keep the rubber side down. Peace!